Jimmy and Ike.
Hello everyone, this is Jimmy here of Jimmy and Ike, the show where we edit things using Windows Live Movie Maker and MS Paint. I'm here with an episode of what I like to call Are You Aware? Functioning similarly to Did You Know videos, this video will make you aware of things you might not have known before. Our topic for today will be one of the world's most influential people, Walt Disney. Were you aware that Walt Disney was born Walter Elias Disney? He also had a brother called Roy. Roy Disney was the one that actually got Walt his first job in an art studio called the Pesman Rubin Art Studio in Kansas City. There, he met cartoonist Ub Iwerks, a very talented animator of the day. He, Walt, and Roy later moved to Hollywood, California, where they opened up Disney Brothers Studios. It was here that they designed their first original cartoon character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Yes, you heard correctly. The world-renowned Mickey Mouse was not actually Walt's first character. The reason Oswald is not better known is because the Disney Brothers studio had a contract with New York distributor Margaret Winkler. She and her husband, Charles Mintz, ended up stealing the rights to Oswald and all the animators responsible for creating him. All except Iwerks, that is. This is what prompted the creation of Mickey Mouse. Now, Disney did end up getting the rights to Oswald back in 2006, and when they did, they immediately used him as one of the main characters in some of their video games, Epic Mickey, and any other game under that name. Were you aware that Mickey Mouse's well-known crew of Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, and Pluto were not actually created until 1929? Before this, Mickey had starred in various cartoons, the most famous being Steamboat Willie. The rest of the gang joined in with the creation of silly symphonies. These included some well-known cartoons such as Flowers and Trees and The Three Little Pigs. Were you aware that Walt Disney's first full-length animated film was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? It premiered in Los Angeles on December 21st, 1937, and made an incredible almost $1.5 million and won a total of 8 Oscars. This success spurred Disney to create more full-length animated movies over the next 5 years, including Pinocchio, Fantasia, Dumbo, and Bambi. More films followed in the 1950s and early 1960s with the release of Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp, Sleeping Beauty, and 101 Dalmatians. The first live-action film produced by Disney was Treasure Island, released in 1950. Disney used more than movies to entertain the masses. He was responsible for many popular TV shows back in the day, including Zorro, Davy Crockett, The Mickey Mouse Club, and Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. In fact, many of today's well-known celebrities were in the all-new Mickey Mouse Club, which ran from 1989 to 1994, including Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Ryan Gosling, and Britney Spears. Other stars that appeared on the show include Donald Trump, Bob Saget, and Bill Nye the Science Guy. Were you aware that Disneyland opened on July 17th in 1955? When it first opened, they even had actor and future President Ronald Reagan presiding over the activities. Opening day was a disaster, though. Since that day, though, things have improved, and Disneyland now has parks in Tokyo, Paris, Hong Kong, and a Shanghai park intended to open in December of 2015. Shortly after Disneyland had opened, Walt began development on what he likes to call the Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow, or Epcot for short. He had intended it to be an actual community where people lived and worked, located in Florida, but he was diagnosed with lung cancer in the December of 1966. After his death, Roy Disney continued to develop the park and turned it into what we know today as Walt Disney World. Were you aware that when Walt Disney was buying up land in Florida for Walt Disney World, he used pseudonyms? Because Disney had become such an established name, Walt knew that if he bought land in Florida as himself, people would realize it was for a new theme park and would jack up the land prices because they knew he'd need a lot of land and they wanted to cash in on that. Disney used pseudonyms for a while, but was later discovered, and land prices did indeed jump up as he had anticipated. Walt Disney World currently takes up about 30,000 acres. Now, a lot of this land is just surrounding the actual parks, but that's to ensure that the family theme park would be free of any and all exterior distractions, like other businesses and noise from traffic and things like that. Were you aware that Walt Disney World officially opened on October 1st, 1971? The first official visitors were the family of William Windsor. Mickey Mouse was there to lead them all into the Magic Kingdom. Many of the attractions at the Magic Kingdom were originally seen at the 1964 World's Fair. WED Enterprises, which would later become Walt Disney Imagineering, was hired to build attractions for outside parties for the fair. General Electric wanted a system called Progress Land, where audiences could move around a series of stages and learn about the progress of home electric appliances. Remember the Carousel of Progress? They even referenced the Carousel of Progress's debut at the World's Fair at the beginning of the show. The state of Illinois wanted a Hall of Presidents to be built, and while Abraham Lincoln was the only completed president, it was still revolutionary tech that they still hold in Liberty Square at the Magic Kingdom. They update the show every time there is a new president elected into office. The Pepsi-Cola Company wanted a boat ride throughout the countries of the world to support UNICEF. You can still experience this ride in Fantasyland when you go ride It's a Small World. Were you aware that Walt Disney had an apartment above the fire station on Main Street in Disneyland? Every time he was there, he turned on the lights so people would be able to look up and see that he was there looking over them. After his death, Disneyland keeps that apartment lit constantly to serve as a reminder that, while Walt is dead, he's still there in spirit, looking over them. I have to imagine he's probably hiding out in the Haunted Mansion. Be sure to look for him next time you have a chance. And that's all the fun facts I have for you today. Were you fully aware of everything? If not, hit that like button really hard because learning new things can actually be really cool sometimes. Are you aware of any facts that I missed? If so, post them in the comments below. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. We'd really like that. After all, we are the two and only Jimmy and Ike. Catch you next time!